so Nate McMillan there, and talked about a number of things. Gave ourselves a chance. It's one of the things he said. He also talked about what we were about to discuss before he came out, and that's about the idea of switching pick and rolls against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You guys picked this out pretty early in the game as something that could impact this series.
Yeah, and it did impact the series as well because Cleveland recognized that 1-3 pick and roll, and by getting a guard on LeBron, there's no way that Jeff Teague is going to be able to have any kind of resistance or anything like that. And it kind of got LeBron going. And we talked about it earlier, you have to make the right adjustments. And I think it took them a little bit too long to make those proper adjustments. He did it by installing Lance Stephenson in, and that made it a little bit more difficult for Cleveland to do whatever they wanted. But it took a while, and once again, they took advantage of it.
No question. And Cleveland is one of the most efficient teams in isolation, but their collective awareness is what really is impressive. And here they see the mismatch, and LeBron's just waiting to read what the defense does. No double team, get to 5 feet, shoot right over Jeff Teague, and then here.
Once again, you got Kevin Love, that pick and roll, and Indiana's kind of in no man's land. And once again, Love gets the ball at the 3-point line, and nobody comes in and give Teague any help. And by the time they do, he's able to score in the scoring zone. So they struggled with it for an extended period of time, but eventually, by installing Lance Stephenson, they was able to kind of solve it.
Does that mean more Lance Stephenson, who was very effective in this game, or some other strategy?
Well, I mean, you heard Mac-10, Coach Mac-10 talk about how that was his nickname back in the day. But you heard him talk about how they had been playing this way with Lance for the last 5 games. And they had won 5 games in a row coming in to the playoffs and obviously securing their spot in the playoffs. So Lance, it's a weird situation where you bring somebody into your team this late in the season and then right away you throw him in the mix and he's able to produce and have an impact on the result of the game. I think you do. I think you continue to stay with your group, to stay with your game plan, obviously make some tweaks, allowing Cleveland to shoot the ball as well as they did throughout the game, but particularly the first 3 quarters. You have to maybe defensively make some adjustments there. LeBron James is so effective at finding people.
Right.
And so, but he also can go off and score big numbers as well. And so, do you give Kevin Love, do you give Kyle Korver, Channing Frye? They had moments where they had open looks. And those are the things you got to take away. Kyrie Irving's going to get numbers, LeBron James, even Kevin Love. But if you can maybe focus in on the rest of the guys and not let them be involved in the game, then it gives yourself a better chance. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments Mac-10 makes in Indiana Pacers. But they have to feel good about this performance.
Yeah.
And they did. They did let this one slip away. They could have had this game and felt really good with control of this series after 1.
Yeah, easily said than done. You can now allow LeBron James to score the ball like he does and also get other guys involved.
13 assists.
13 assists. Yeah. Like you said, Kyrie Irving is going to get involved, Kevin Love, but you cannot have Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, and those guys scoring at a high clip with LeBron being the main reason why they're doing that. So when he installed Lance Stephenson, because they did a lot of switching with any kind of pick and rolls, you make LeBron have to actually, be a scorer, kind of one-dimensional a little bit, because to start the game, he wanted to get as many players involved as possible, and he did that, and that kind of got them going. And then say, you know what, second half it's time for me to take over. So you can now allow him to do both, because if he's able to do that, it's going to be a long night.
Well, the unfortunate thing for the coach on the losing side is you only have so many games to adjust things, but they made progress during the game, outscored the Cavaliers by 7 in the 4th quarter, and held them to 6 for 18 shooting after shooting lights out for the first 3 quarters of the game.